Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Curated Collective Co. podcast. I was going to sit in my typical beanbag, but as you can see, Leo has claimed the beanbag for today, and I'm gonna let him have it. So I'm sitting in the chair today, but I really am so excited to talk with you guys today about monetizing your Instagram, because I get so many questions, especially inside of the community that I've started last week. Getting tons of questions in there about Instagram and social media and content. And I wanted to make a video to talk about the things that I've learned and that I'm starting to implement and starting to see some successes from. So without further ado, let's jump into this podcast episode. First off, I wanted to mention that I'm going to be talking specifically about Instagram today. However, I'm on TikTok, I'm on YouTube Shorts, and Pinterest, if you consider Pinterest social media. And there's so many platforms to choose from. So I'm not saying that you have to choose Instagram. However, I've seen so much success from it in the fact that I've landed clients through Instagram. I've connected with amazing people through Instagram. It's just been such a great platform for that communication style and really nurturing the people who are following my work. So I do love it for the communication side of things, but if you are drawn to more TikTok content or you want to start getting into YouTube, definitely do that. Do what your heart is most drawn to, because you'll stay more consistent with what it is you actually want to do. And I can make some more videos about YouTube specifically, but like I said, this podcast episode is going to be all about Instagram and the things I've learned with this specific platform. Okay, so I managed to grow my Instagram from around, I think it was like 7,000. It went from like 4,000 to 7,000, all the way up to 27,000 followers in the matter of about a year and a half. And honestly, I feel like I cracked this code with content in Instagram, and I feel like it's just because I've studied so much content out there and I've really taken the time to see like what works and what doesn't work and the things to keep in mind when I make content. So I'm going to share that all with you guys today. But I wanted to record my iPad screen because I'm going to audit and actually go through my Instagram profile to show you exactly what I recommend that you put in your profile bio, profile picture, all those things. So let me open that real quick. Okay, so this is my Instagram profile. It's Megan Weeks Design if you want to go check it out. But I wanted to talk with you guys about the actual name of your account. So I definitely think it's important to put the brand name, of course. If you're going by your personal name, I think that's a great way to go about it, because I have been to so many accounts where I see like an awesome business name, but I have no idea who is actually behind it and the names of the person behind the brand. So I definitely would recommend using your own name in that front part of your bio. And then when it comes to the second part of your bio, I put minimal brand and web designer. Now, I've gone back and forth with changing this. I've had it in the past as just graphic designer. I've also had it in the past as brand and web designer. I've even had it in the past as WordPress web designer to really test and see like what people will follow me for or what I can become an expert in. So I've kept it as minimal brand and web designer for a very long time because I have felt that this really encompasses a lot of what I do in a simple way of saying it. So I would recommend putting your first and last name or just your first name, and then putting a little, those lines in between like I have right here, and then also explaining what it is you do, whether that's like a modern graphic designer, a luxury graphic designer, a brand designer. Figure out at least a few words to describe what it is you do and the type of like style behind what you do. I would test that out for a little while and see if you see any change with the amount of followers coming through or engagement on your profile. Okay, now I also wanted to talk about this statement right here, which is one of the most important statements that you can have on your profile. I like to call this the I help statement. It is the statement that explains everything you do in a few short words. So I don't want this to be super long. It really should be, I actually wrote down a guide for you guys to write this yourself. So this statement should be, I help, so you can actually mimic this exact layout. You could say, I help, put the audience name, do or get in a descriptive word, service, offer, or design. So I'll put that on the screen here so you guys can see. If you're only listening to the episode, I recommend that you go check that part out, but definitely have an I help statement. So another example one could be, I help wellness professional build beautiful brands, or I help wellness professionals show up with beautiful brand and websites. So just take that I help, take the target audience you help with, you're gonna help, and then take the do, get, or offer or service and what exactly it is you're providing. Keep it really simple because people do not have long attention spans anymore. So you want to get to the point really quickly and share what it is you can help them with. Okay, then right below that is when we're going to start to get to some call to actions. So for mine right now, I have take my courses and join the community. So there's a lot of different things you can do for this. I've seen a really awesome tactic where you can actually put you could put like DM me, quote unquote, designs for the details, and then you can start to get some actual DMs coming through. If you give someone a word or a statement to start the conversation, you get a lot more engagement and a lot more messages from that. So you could definitely try that. Or you could even just put, like, if you want, interested in designs, DM me, or interested in designs, interested in working with me, check this out. Do whatever it is that you can create that action when people read your profile. But I do recommend playing around with the idea of the DM option. That way you can start to get some actual leads coming through your inbox. Another really helpful thing that you can do to start to get some like emails and some leads is to put a freebie in your bio. So you could say, get the free brand template, or get the free guide to building I'm trying to think in terms of like what you guys might be using it for, because I know I'm kind of pivoting my brand into more education for designers. But if I were to be speaking to clients I want to work with, I probably would provide some sort of freebie that helps them understand like when is the right time to redesign a website, what do you need before you look into website redesign. Create some sort of freebie that speaks to your target audience and put that right in here. So I'm going to write a little note, freebie, and this is going to help you so much get some immediate action on your page, because if you just have a really simple statement about what you do and they're like, they don't have a specific call to action to know like what to do next, then they might leave your page and you might not get that lead. So you want to capture them right away as soon as they're on your page. So definitely have some sort of call to action or freebie right there. And then I have right here the call to action link. So I actually just created a like link in bio type of thing from beacons.ai, and I really like the way it looks because I was able to add like products and podcast episodes, YouTube videos, and add all that into this one page with links. So I really do like Beacons. I would check that out. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. You just want to make it super easy for leads and new clients or new customers to take action right away without confusion. So make it super simple. Make sure they know what this link is about. That's why right above it, I put, grab a new color. Right above it, I put inquire below, and then I have the link right here. So I actually have 4 links inside of my links area. I have the main beacons.ai, I have my Amazon storefront, and I have my YouTube and community. So I'm actually going to change this up because that is a little bit confusing when there are so many links to click on. They might get so confused and just leave the page. So make it as easy as you can. And that just reminded me that I definitely want to change that and make sure that it's really to the point and super clear what link they should be clicking on. So definitely make sure to do that as well. Okay, so let's talk about the profile picture. The profile picture is important because you want to make sure you have a picture of yourself that's really crisp and clear that it's you. Occasionally you can put like a brand logo or something that really captures the eye, but I do feel that you should try this out for a while. Put a picture of yourself looking directly at the camera with your name right below it, like I mentioned right here. It's going to be so clear like who they're talking to on the page. They're going to want to talk to you if they actually know like the face behind it and the name behind it. So I would recommend finding a picture that is really clear to tell that it's you, and also that it's like professionally taken. It doesn't look like in a dark room. Make sure to have a really nice and polished profile picture, as well as a story. So I'm going to share more about stories in a minute, but I think you should have a goal with yourself to at least post one story every single day. So every 24 hours, a new story will be uploaded. That alone is going to help you with engagement on your profile. It's going to help you connect with your audience so much more. It's really important to do that and to really get that conversation going. And it's one of the best ways to have like real-time connection with your followers. So I would definitely make sure to have story at all times, because you never know when a new person is going to enter your profile, and most commonly they're going to click right here to see like what you're about, what you're like right now in real time. So always make sure to have a story uploaded. Now, I will say that stories are really important to have. However, if you are experiencing like the views on your stories going down a bit, then I would recommend taking a 24-hour break from it. Let all of your stories expire. Give your Instagram profile some time to like refresh. That's really helped me with the algorithm. It will push my stories to the front. And it's interesting because I do this every Saturday. And then when I post a story on Sunday, I get like twice as many views on the stories. So just a little trick that I've learned is to let that reset happen every week to kind of get the algorithm reset for you. Okay, so let's talk about highlights. Highlights are the right below area of your bio. It's the little bubbles where you can click and see information about this person or this profile. So I would recommend having a highlight bubble at the very front of your highlights, and try to let it stay at the very front. So if you have to post a story every day, just to drop it in that highlight bubble, just to keep it relevant and at the front, it's going to be really important to do this, because that start here highlight, you can include information about you, information about what it is you offer, whether that's the service or courses or products. You want to make sure that's at the very front, because the ultimate goal is to make it really easy for new people that come to your page to know what action to take, how to get in touch with you, maybe how to connect with you more. So having that start here highlight bubble is going to allow them to know where exactly to start. So include that information about yourself, include a few slides showing what it is you do, maybe behind the scenes of you designing, include some information about the services you provide, include information about how to inquire. I love the fact that we can now all use links in our stories. So add some links of where they can inquire, and then also include some information about a client story, client success story, just information that's going to let them know the best way to connect with you. I do think it's really helpful and important to include some information about yourself. So connect with them on a more personal level by sharing information about what it is you love outside of the business and design. Like Leo, for example, I love to show him in my stories because the amount of people I've connected over having a cat is crazy. So it's like the littlest things you can connect with people on. Definitely don't be afraid to share that. And besides having the start here bubble, you're also going to want to have a highlight bubble with client wins. So including information on those success stories and really like highlighting it in the highlight bubbles is going to be super important, because the actions that your clients are going to take are probably who is behind this brand, what is the process like, okay, what is the pricing like, okay, now what does it look like when someone actually works with this designer. So include some client wins, show some behind the scenes of you creating that client project, and then also include information of the client giving you great feedback on it. That is going to help you land so many clients, because when you think about it, there's so many things we buy online now, and almost all of them have reviews on it. So you're going to want to make sure that you have those reviews really readily available for people to check out. I would also include a highlight bubble of work you've done. You want to make sure that you have actual real life client projects or passion projects or any portfolio pieces that you can put in your stories and actually add them to your highlight feed is going to help a lot as well. Because I feel like clients are going to take that action of starting here, looking at the testimonials, making sure that they really want to work with you by checking out some more of your work and your style. And then the last one that I would put is a freebies highlight bubble. So if you're going to my profile, you're probably going to see so many highlight bubbles because I love to travel and I didn't want to lose those memories. And I also have like my education, and my bubbles are a little bit all over the place. However, it's been working for me, so that's why I haven't changed it. But if I were to start over, this is exactly what I would do. And I would make sure to have a freebies area where if they aren't quite ready to invest yet, but they still want to stay connected with you, they can click in those freebies, get the freebie, and you will get their email and be able to communicate with them directly from there on out. And it's totally okay to include the same freebie that you put in the bio. I would just really study what freebie is doing the best for you. This could be a simple guide, like I said. It could be information or a little video on when it's the right time to invest in website design. Something really simple that's going to attract those clients. Study which one does the best, and I would put the one that does the best in the bio, but leave all the freebies you ever offer in the highlight bubble. Okay, so now let's talk about the content. One of the most common questions I've been getting in the community lately is, what type of content should I be posting? Do I have to show my face in it every single time? I know that it can be really scary getting in front of the camera. It's definitely, you have to get out of your comfort zone from it, and you might stumble on your words. It might not be perfect, but it does not need to be perfect. And I had to learn this over time. You do not need to make things perfect. In fact, being more authentic, showing the mistakes is going to allow you to connect with so many more people. So I made a goal with myself to post at least once a day. I have seen some amazing creators and business coaches recommend posting as often as you can, and I do feel that every platform has its own algorithm. And I know for TikTok, if you post 3 times a day, it does really, really well, and it keeps you at the front of the feed. However, with Instagram, 1 time a day feels plenty to me, and I actually only post 5 times a week. So I would find what's doable for you. I know that social media can feel like a whole other full-time job, so it can be a lot. That's why I recommend picking something you can stick to. So I typically like to take the weekends off to really create new content for the next week. And if you also feel like you don't have time to post that day, that's okay. I would just make sure to make up for that in the stories. So go on your stories, say hello. You don't have to create things, just document things. When you're walking your dog, or maybe when you're grabbing coffee, or you've parked in the parking lot and you're waiting for something, just document your day, share little parts of your day, because people connect with the most random things, the most relatable random things. But I do feel that it is important to stay consistent, whether that's through the stories or through the posts. Just try to get something up every single day if you can. Okay, so let's talk about Reels. Reels have been huge on Instagram. As you guys know, it's like the only way to really connect with new people. Like when I look at my analytics and my engagement, Reels are what bring in non-followers. The actual in-feed posts are still important. You want to make sure you're still using all the features that Instagram offers. However, the Reels are what is pushed the most to people that are not following me yet. So for Reels, I lately have been loving to make them really quick and easy. So could be a simple video of me sitting here working, or a video of my screen. I'll record that during the day, and then later that night I will add either a piece of text on it or like some exciting music, and just adding either a lesson I've learned with design, or sharing a behind the scenes of creating a design, or just sharing things that I'm thinking about, like motivation tips or successes and wins that I've had in my business. So just share whatever's on your mind, what's authentic to you. But also, the most important thing that I want to share with you guys is that you have to get to the point quickly. I see so many amazing videos, but the first clip of the video is so long, way too long. If it's more than like 1 second to 2 seconds, then I would rework it and shorten that first clip. So I will show you guys a few examples of exactly what I'm talking about, and why I think it worked and why I think it didn't work on my own profile. Because I study this stuff, like I find it so fascinating. It's a lot of psychology and a lot to do with the initial hook on your videos. So let's take a look at my profile here. Now, I think that this one did really well because I got straight to the point. You see how quick that first clip of the coffee shop was? Super quick. I put the point of view. POV Reels do really well as well, so try that out on your page. I know everyone's audience is different, but that typically does super well for me. And now when it comes to like other Reels that I've made, like the one I posted today, I don't get too hung up on the views when it's same day. I've noticed that lately at night the views go up a lot, so give your post some time, because it might surprise you that in a few hours or even in 24 hours it can completely change. But honestly, the views are not the most important thing. The most important thing is this little airplane icon. Making sure that people are sharing your content and sending it to others is the most important right now, at least. I know the algorithm always changes, but that is what Instagram is looking like. Is your content shareable? So those are my tips about Reels. It's so important to get to the point really quickly, and just making sure that you have an engaging hook in the very beginning, whether that is a POV or saying something a little bit crazy to get people's attention, or even just getting to the point quick. Having some exciting music behind it is also going to help, but I've noticed that getting to the point quick and showing behind the scenes of my process does the best. And I think that's because, one, it's really fun to watch a design or art being created. It's kind of like mesmerizing and therapeutic, so I do think that's part of it. But I also think clients are going to want to reach out to you more if you're showing how you create your designs. I did a little experiment recently too, where I was showing education a lot for the last few weeks and teaching other designers about graphic design, and I wasn't getting inquiries from clients. It wasn't until I started showing more of the client work and behind the scenes that I got a few leads in the last few days. So that's just proof that even when you kind of slightly change your content, you might not be landing the clients that you're really hoping to connect with. Okay, on the topic of getting clients through Instagram, I'm going to share with you guys something that I'm going to experiment with next week, but I have learned from a business coach that I've been listening to, and this is how to get clients through your Instagram stories or even your captions in your posts. So what I would recommend doing, and I can actually show you guys what I learned from this business coach. Let me share my screen, and if you're only listening, I'll walk through it as best as I can to kind of explain what I'm doing. But I'm going to my Instagram and I'm going to go to post a new story. I have tons of photos in my album right now, but let's say I use a picture of my computer right here. And then we're going to add a question box. We're going to add a question box, and we're going to put in this question box, we're going to say, is redesigning your website or brand, whatever it is that you offer. God, I need my glasses. Is redesigning your brand a now thing or a later thing? We can say now or later thing. So get that question started, and then the most important part is to put underneath that a simple word for them to answer inside of that question box. When you use polls and question boxes in the stories, you're going to get so much more engagement than just getting random cold DMs or random inquiries. If you start the conversation through these tools that Instagram provides, you're going to get so many conversations going. So then I would say add or type, trying to do this with my left hand. We're going to say type now above. That right there is going to let people not even have to think twice about this story. They're just going to say it's a now thing for me, and they're going to type that so quickly because you gave them the prompt to say, you added the area for them to say it. So this is going to help you get those conversations going. So once they actually type in their now and you have their name and you have someone that's interested in redesigning their brand or website, this is when you need to start the conversation and kind of start that like marketing funnel. I just taught about my entire marketing funnel over in the community. So if you want to like learn more about that, then go join the community. I'll leave the link in the description of this podcast episode, but I go into detail with every single thing I do in my marketing funnel, from getting the lead to sharing the information that's going to help them. So for you with the DMs, it might help to just start to share more about the services you offer. You can even make it sound a little bit urgent by saying that you have a few more spots, you'd love to work with them, or even say for the month of September or the month of August, I'm offering $200 off. Whatever it is you have to do to just interest those people that have showed interest with your services, that'll help you really start to land those clients. So I would definitely try that out. Try engaging with your target audience. You have to really nurture your target audience, engage with them and start the conversations. You can even start by saying like, oh, what is your current website? Do you have an existing website? Can I take a look at it? Offer some feedback and then get that conversation going. You can also do this in your post captions by adding at the bottom of the caption a piece of text that says, DM me website if you want some more information on my services, or DM me website if you want my free guide. And I used to do this with my social media manager, and I got so many conversations in the DMs, got so many new community members through that. So it's a really, really helpful tool, like a marketing tool, to get that conversation going without waiting around for people to DM you themselves. And also giving them a prompt to say is going to make them feel a little bit less nervous to slide into the DMs. So I definitely would try that out. Okay, so those are just a few of the things I've learned about Instagram. Like I said, right now the algorithm is really pushing the sharing of your posts. So I actually tried recently to just share the posts with my other accounts, and that I think was helping a lot with the engagement. So if you have someone you can send this to, or another account you can send it to get that algorithm flowing of like, is this content shareable? That's going to help a lot, but that is something to pay attention to. Also, if they can save the post, so if you're sharing like tips about websites you go to for fonts, that is definitely shareable or savable. So kind of start to think about content that people are going to want to bookmark. Another thing I wanted to mention when it comes to getting monetized on Instagram is the fact that you should check your analytics dashboard, because I didn't even know that this was a thing Instagram offered until I checked my analytics and my professional dashboard area. And once you hit 10,000 followers on your Instagram, you can start to get monetized by accepting the bonuses that Instagram offers you. So I'm gonna be really honest with you guys, I don't make a ton of money through this. However, it's a really cool feature, and I didn't even know that this was possible until I found it in the professional dashboard. That's why I'm sharing it with you all, so you can make sure to check that, because I know Instagram changes things all the time. But once you get accepted for that, you can really start to make like a little bit of passive income from it. So always make sure to check that, because I can't even start to make money through those bonuses until I activate the one that they're inviting me to. So it's a really cool feature. Didn't even know that was possible, but it's definitely something to work towards and something that I'm excited to continue growing with. But yeah, those are all the things that I wanted to share with you guys in this episode. But like I said, if you want to learn more about my social media tips or my video editing tips or anything to do with that kind of stuff, then definitely head to my community, where I'll be sharing weekly tutorials about things like this, things about business and design and YouTube and all the things. But thank you guys so much for always being here. If you liked this episode, I'd appreciate it so much if you gave it a thumbs up, subscribe or follow my podcast for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.